Well, we're back on the Doka again today. Just doing a little bit of a tidy up, checking it over, because when I purchased it, I didn't look at it thoroughly. So let's have a look inside now. So we're in the engine bay, and I'm just going to do a little tidy up in here. I don't know if you can see because of the shadows, but I'm sure I can make it look a lot better than this. So I'm going to get in here with some multi-surface cleaner and a detail brush and zhuzh it up, and hopefully when I'm finished it'll look a lot better. I'm not going to show you because it's quite explanatory what I'm doing, using a cleaner, a brush and some cloths. Right, cleaning up the engine bay in the Doka, and I think I'm going to give it a service just for peace of mind. I mean, it runs sweet, no issues, other than I've got to replace the fuel lines. That's definitely happening. I've got the kit now for that. And the moustache bar, got the 4 brackets for the engine mounting. Hey Harry. On startup there's that clang 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 clang. I don't like it. It's not good for the engine, so I'm replacing those. It's booked in. I'm not doing it on the drive. I'm taking it to a friend's garage. We're going to get up on the ramp, and while I'm there I think I'm going to do oil change, filter change, and probably drain the fuel and transmission and get that seen to as well. So what I've come in for at the moment, I've just got a little list down here of little bits I want to get, and up on the computer just put the parts list together, put it in my basket, click order, get it here, and get on to doing that soon as, really. So that's one good thing about keeping on top of your cleaning of your engine bay or any part of your vehicle. It helps with the maintenance because you can see when things start going wrong or what needs replacing. So get out, clean your engine bays, don't be lazy. Right, parts I've ordered. I got mine from Heritage, but you could have got them anywhere. Totally up to you where you buy them from. So they'll be arriving in the next few days, probably after the weekend, so I'll get onto them next week. What I do have here is this excellent kit, and it's from Slaughterhouse Customs. So what this is, it's the fuel line. Now this is the co-line kit, so it's good for the modern ethanol based fuels that we run. Let's have a look at some of these bits. I'm going to try and do it one-handed, but I'll give you an idea of what we've got anyway. So it comes with this Fancy Dan fuel filter bracket. So I guess that plugs onto the undercarriage of the vehicle, clips in like that, and then your filter goes in there. Talking about the filter, look at that puppy. She's a beaut, Clark. So what I've gone ahead and done, it does come with fully comprehensive instructions in here, but I've actually gone along and just taped up and wrote down where the connections go, because even though I've got instructions, I never look at them. I guess there's a lot of you like that as well. So this is the rest of the kit in here, and bear with, put you down there for a second. There we go. So this is a comprehensive kit, and it does the supply line and it does the return line, and it's got everything you need in this kit. And here's those instructions, and there's the company who supplied them. There are other companies, but I chose these guys, and the kit looks amazing, and the postage and everything was spot on, so far I can't complain. So there's the instructions. I'll get myself familiar with those, but I think it's quite self-explanatory. So I've got to go and do school pickup in a couple of hours. I might try and do this. Wish me luck. Right, I'm back. I did start the fuel lines and I've got the supply line in. I don't know if you can see, there's that lovely filter and the nice stainless bracket. There's the feed to the tank. I don't know if you probably can't see, but it goes all up there. I got covered in crap. I've been doing it on this, I don't know if you can see it, and laying on this, it's like being on a bed of nails. So I've only done the supply at the moment, and good job I did, because the feed to the carb was about to give way, so that would have been boom, would have been a bit of a fire. So the return line, which is on the other chassis rail over there, I've inspected that and it looks okay, but I am going to do it, but I just can't now because I've got to go off and do the school run. So I didn't film under here while I was doing it because there's bugger all room. So pleased how it came out. The kit is brilliant, fits perfect. Yeah, I'll get the return line done, and that's a big tick done in the box, big safety tick anyway. So on to the next part of the project. Right, the postman's been, he's given me a box of goodies, so we're going to do a little bit of a engine maintenance today. So we're going to give it a bit of a service. So I've got a rotor cap, I think that's the air filter, we got HT leads in there, got some spark plugs, and I think that's the, what is that in there? Oh, that's it. I've got an exhaust fitting kit because I've got a leak on one of the joints, so I thought I'd get new gasket in there, new hardware, make that feel better. So what we're going to do here, swap out the HT leads. I didn't get the cap, so I've ordered that now. That'll be turning up at a later date. Rotor arm in there, obviously the plugs down there, filters up in here. It's not very great because it's in the shadows, but I have to remove the air intake to get to that filter. But let's get on it and give it a bit of a little bit of a spruce up. Although it's running fine, I just want, for peace of mind, I want it to be all new, and everything that comes off I can still keep and use as spares. Right, I've just moved the air intake off the top of the carb, and it's a little bit dirty but not too bad, so I'm going to give it a little clean with some carb cleaner. It's not that bad, but you know, while it's off, give it a nice clean up. There we go, look at that, nearly good as new. So I always like to clean as I go along, so that's all. I had some carb cleaner sprayed in it, got rid of a little bit of gunk. The linkage down here, I don't know if you can see in the shadows, I put some copper C's, anti-seize on it, lubed it up. That's obviously for the, what I presume would be the choke, and I've greased the cable, throttle cable there. Actually I need to put, oh, that's split. I need to get a new one of them. Right, let's move on now to, let's change these leads out, and while we're doing it we'll do the plugs as well. Here's the old filter that came out. Looks a little grubby but not too bad, and it's actually 22nd of August, no it's not, it's upside down, 9th of August 22, that was replaced. So there's the brand new one gone in. I've cleaned up all the housing because that was obviously a bit grubby, so I'm going to put that back together, and I think first I'll get down and do those spark plugs outside, makes sense, and then move on to this side. Right, just remove the first plug, and pleased really, they don't look that old, so I'm just going to clean them up. Definitely keep these as spares, really handy, because if I don't need them, maybe someone else on the side of the road will. Here's a little tip for installing the spark plugs. If you've got access, like we have on here, because we've got the engine lid hatch, always start them off with your fingers. Yeah, that way you can feel if you're cross-threading, and if you ever get any resistance, just back them back out, twist them back in. You get them on so far finger tight, then you can put your plug socket on there, wind them in a bit more, and then just snug them down with the ratchet, and they just need to be snugged. You don't need to wang them in, they just need to go in there until they're sort of, I don't know, wrist tight, something like that. Not very tight, I don't know what there's probably a correct Newton measured calculation to put them in, but just so they're snug, they're seated properly. Okay, so there, just like that. Now what you can also do, if you can't get access because they're deeper inside the head, which they are on some other Volkswagens, you can put a bit of hose over this, a bit of fuel line or something like that, and you can, from out here, you can just turn it. It does exactly the same thing, and then once you've got it in far enough, pull it off, put your socket back on. Top tip of the day. Right, so these are the plugs I took out. I've just cleaned them up, put them in the boxes that the new ones came with, and these are all brand new almost. I think this was last serviced, this truck, August 22, so less than 2 years old. So these are perfect for spares for me or for someone else. So now I'm going to move on to the HT leads, and I removed the cap, and it got me thinking, when I'm at the traffic lights, no one ever races me in this truck, and I've got a theory. It's got a 5-speed box, and it's a dog leg first. If you know anything about a dog leg first, it's over and down, and you come across for second. And the reason for that is, well, come across and up. The reason for that is because on a racetrack, you're generally running in second and third gear, so they're up and down from each other really quick. Another thing that makes me think that this is a racing machine and no one wants to race me at the lights, it's actually got a rev limiting rotor cap. So all those people that never race me at the lights, just as well. Really easy, if you're not careful, to get these HT leads mixed up. So what I do, I just take one off at a time. Doesn't matter which order you do it. Take it off, measure it against the new one, and put that on. That way you're never going to get your firing order mixed up. So that's the mini service done. Still got a few bits to do, like degreasing the top of the motor, just a general tidy up in here. I've got a replacement belt. Oh yeah, I think I will replace that. It's got some cracks in it, so that's something I need to do sooner rather than later. So I've done the rotor cap, no sorry, rotor arm, caps in the post, HT leads, spark plugs, air filter, I did the fuel lines, although I haven't done the return. I've got to replace the return, but I've inspected that and that's good condition. So the moment of truth now, come and start it and see if I've done everything right. Right, key in ignition, we have contact, it's out of gear, fingers crossed. All runs. That knocking you heard is the engine mounts, which next week I've got it booked in. I've got some ramp time, so all those are being replaced. There's 4 of them on that mustache bar. Running sweet, and I've got all those spares now to carry with me to maybe rescue me or someone else on the side of the road. So yeah, didn't take long, worth doing, and I've noticed a few things in the process of me cleaning the engine. I know I've got to replace the fan belt. I've got one, I think I've got it here. Where is it? Here we go. So I might actually get round to replacing the auxiliary belt today. I don't know. We'll see. Interesting, this belt is for a Hyundai. Hyundai! Better be for a Volkswagen too. Yeah, I think it is. It's come from BBT, so it's definitely going to fit. So there we go, guys. On to the next part of the project. Don't know what that is yet. Might be in a day or two, but I'll let you know. Right, when I noticed that the auxiliary belt was cracked, my gut feeling was just to replace it, so I did. It took me a couple of minutes. All I did, release the tensioning bolt, drop the alternator that way, slip the belt off, put a new one on, push that back that way, crank it back up. So a nice new belt on there now, correctly tensioned. Two things I did notice. There seems to be some kind of vacuum line coming off the carburettor. I don't remember taking that off. There's nothing under here that it connects to. I can't see anything on the carb. So if you know, for a Pierberg carb, if you know where this goes, could you put a comment please? Because I haven't a Scooby-Doo. And one other thing, when I was diving around back here, I found this plug. Not attached to anything. Now I don't know if this is just part of a wiring loom that comes in, maybe for fuel injection or something, but I don't know, could that be connected to something? Again, if you could tell me. It goes off down the, I can't quite see where it goes, but it's down there somewhere. Yeah, and that's the plug. So if you could tell me what that's for, that would be much appreciated. What else? I think there's one last thing. Again, over here there's a plug that's been, now that doesn't look factory to me. I want to put some electrical tape around that, but what on earth is that for, and where's that meant to go, and do I need it? This is a 1.9 Wasserboxer engine, so it might be that I don't need it, but if you could please put a comment down, get me out of my misery. Thanks guys. Right, what I've got here is I've got some reclaimed scaffold boards. What I'm going to do here is I've sanded them down just to take the roughness off, and what I'm going to do now is put a profile on these edges, round them off. If you look on the router here, got a, you can see that, got a bit, it's just going to take the Aris, take the edge off these boards here. And once I've gone over with the router, I'm just going to give it a quick pass with the orbital sander, and then we're going to take them down the end of the garden and we're going to put a preserver on them, and I'll show you that in a minute. So as you can see, it's just put a really nice little radius on this top edge of this board, and now it's just a single pass in each direction with the router, and then run over with the sander. And now what I'm doing in here, I've got some boiled linseed oil. Just put it on a foam roller, and I'm going to give it one coat of this on the top side and on the edges, and then put it down here to dry, and then if need be I'll buff it off with a dry cloth just to get a bit of a sheen on it. But that's what I'm going to do for now. Catch you later. Right, I've treated all the boards that are going on the deck of the Doka, so I've just placed them on for now. They're not fixed down. I don't want these to be permanent, because if someone in the future wants to replace this bed, then they need to be able to take this off. So what I'm going to do, I've put a ply base down, and I'm going to attach these boards to that ply base, and then in the corners I'm literally going to put, say, 4 maybe 6 screws that go down into the deck, into the actual pickup bed, and then once those are taken off you can slide the whole lot off. Here where the engine hatch is, I'm going to do a cutout and let in these flush mount fittings. These are used on all sorts of things, cabinets and yachts I've seen them used on before. So they're going to sit flush. So I'm going to have a perfectly flush deck here, and then when I want to lift this section out, just pop these up, pick it up. So that's the plan. I'm going to carry on with that now, and I'm quite pleased how it's looking so far. Let's hope it carries on the same way. Right, that's the bed pretty much done. So give you a closer look. There we go. Pretty pleased how it's turned out. Not quite finished. I've got to let these flush mount fittings into the engine lid hatch so I can lift it and service the engine and such. At the moment none of this is fixed down, it's just the weight of the boards holding it all down, but I've got these sheet metal screws which I'll probably put maybe 3 each side, a couple along the back, possibly put those on. If not, I've got some stainless steel screws and some really nice little brass cup washers that you just countersink into the timber, sit them in flush. They look quite neat. So all in all, really pleased how this has turned out. It's a really good usable surface now. Like I said, the original truck bed needs some patching in places, and I'm not prepared to do that. It's not rotten, it's just got a few little bits that need attention, but the timber I think is really cool. Really sets the truck off, and it's got a really nice working platform now that's going to last for many years to come. So on to the next project. I don't know what it's going to be. Right, a couple of things I've done up the front here. I didn't film, but quite self-explanatory. On the wiper side of things, I got a feeling they come from the factory both 18 inches, but what I've done here, I've increased this one to a 21 inch and left that at 18. Just gives you a better sweep over the driver's side. And if you look down here, I don't know if you can see that, but these are triple jet washers. I think the originals are single or dual, and size of that windshield, there's a lot of real estate there. So what I've done, I found out that these are cheap. I think I got them off eBay. They're for a Suzuki Swift, and they fit straight in. They got the same barbs and everything. So all he did is unpry these, so pull them out, and make sure you get hold of the hose that's behind there, because you don't want that disappearing behind the dash. So I put a peg on it while I swapped them over, and now I don't know if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you inside. They give quite good coverage. Right, let's test these new washer jets out. Might help if I turn the ignition on. There we go. Whoa, look at that! On Niagara Falls. A couple of jets need adjusting, but that's a simple thing to do. All you do is get a pin inside the little eyelets, adjust them so they hit the screen where you want, and that's that. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this this video. There's other bits to do on this truck, but they can be done at a later date. I think what I'm going to do now is move on to the square back, which is back on the drive back there somewhere. I need to put the gearbox and the engine back in that. Don't think you've seen that, so I'll do a reveal on that at the same time. I'm looking forward to getting that one back on the road, actually, because I haven't driven it much since I purchased it, and I've had it over a year now, so that will hopefully be my daily. So we get on to that next. So this one's finished for now, and we're going to start on the square back. So catch you later, people.